Now on YouTube, it's time for some alternative commentary action with the Commentary Hub.
There's headed by Marina, and it's 2-1 to Arsenal.
Look at that pass! Goal for Manchester City!
Takes this corner, whips it in, it's headed and it's a goal, and it's that man, Gabriel.
Liverpool have equalised. Lovely improvisational touch from Curtis Jones.
Oh, what a goal! Wow, take it out!
Good afternoon and welcome to TCHub. My name is Alex Peters and today we bring you the second Emirates FA Cup semi-final between Chelsea and Leeds. Two sides who will be vying to add some silverware on the back of this season. Leeds, they recently reached that magical 40 points of the Premier League midweek thanks to a 97th minute equaliser from Longstaff, and their safety seems assured. Whereas chaos ensues at Chelsea after a 3-0 loss to Brighton and the subsequent dismissal of Liam Rosenior. Callum McFarlane has taken charge today in what sets to be a thriller between two sides who will be looking to make the final for very different reasons. And we are just 10 minutes away from kickoff now, so make sure you're here to stay with us at TCHub. We'll be running through the entire game and who will be meeting Manchester City in the final. So while we wait for the team to kick off, let's run through the starting lineups for both teams. Callum McFarlane, who returns for his third game as Chelsea first team head coach, has opted for a 4-2-3-1 today. He's gone with Robert Sanchez in goal, who will be looking for a big Wembley performance today. The back four is made up of Malo Gusto, Trevor Chalobah, Tosin Adebayo and Marc Cucurella. Caicedo is partnered by Romeo Lavia in the midfield, who obviously has been so great for Chelsea when he has been fit, and he himself, similar to Sanchez, will be looking for a big performance today. Pedro Neto and Alejandro Garnacho are on either side of the wings. Garnacho himself will be looking for a big performance after that abysmal display against his former side Manchester United last Saturday. And João Pedro, who was uncertain going into the game, leads the line for Chelsea. Liam Delap also makes the bench alongside Cole Palmer, both only fit enough for the bench, and they are also joined by other substitutes including Joshua Achimpong, Derry, Wesley Fofana, João Hato and Andre Santos. The sides are in the tunnel as we speak. It is just over 5 minutes until kickoff. We'll run through the Leeds United starting lineup while we're here. Daniel Farker has gone for a 3-4-2-1 formation. Leeds are in great, buoyant form as they look to secure their Premier League status going into next season. Lucas Perry starts in goal, as he has done throughout the cup competitions. Carl Darlow has been starting in the league, but number one returns in Lucas Perry. The back three is made up of James Justin, Bijol and Pascal Strike, who scored that winning penalty against West Ham in the last round. Jaden Bogle and Gabriel Goodmanson are on either side of the flanks, whereas in the centre you have Ethan Ampadu and Al Tanaka. Tanaka, who obviously scored against West Ham in the last game. Brendan Aronson and Noah Okafor are just ahead of them, and just in front of them is their top scorer this season, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who will be looking to make a stamp on this FA Cup semi-final. As mentioned before, Carl Darlow is on the bench. They have attacking prowess in Wilfred Nonto and Daniel James, who will be looking to make an impact if needed. Sean Longstaff is also on the bench after getting that 97th minute equaliser against Bournemouth midweek, whereas other options include Metcha and Joel Pirro. Interestingly enough, Anton Stach has also returned to the substitutes bench after the ankle injury ruled him out for the last few weeks. And it is not long until kick-off now as players are coming out. And it is set to be a huge game between these two sides. In terms of their previous history, it is close, as you can see. Leeds, who have 41 wins in comparison to Chelsea's 39, 31 draws between the sides, and their last meeting finished 2-2 at Stamford Bridge. In terms of the match officials today, it is refereed by Jared Gillett, who has assistance from Paul Howard, Neil Davies and Simon Long, with the fourth official being Thomas Kirk. And on today's video assistant referee is Sean Massey Ellis. So not long until kickoff now, as we see the players making their way out onto that Wembley pitch. It may be a game that's dependent on the goalkeepers, as we can see. Robert Sanchez, who has had a stop-start season for Chelsea, some huge errors. He will be needing a big game today. Whereas Lucas Perry, who did so well in that game against West Ham in the last round, will be looking to make a stamp on that number one spot for Leeds. It's a lovely sunny afternoon here at Wembley with fans from blue and white filling out every seat. Leeds fans who have travelled all the way down from north. It was a shorter trip, of course, for Chelsea. But both teams here in their home kits, blue and white. And we're looking forward to what is set to be a great game here on TCHub. The spotlight will be on Callum McFarlane and whether or not this Chelsea team can finally find something positive in what has been a turbulent season. So we'll run through the lineups one last time for anybody who's just joining us. Robert Sanchez starts in goal with a back four of Gusto, Chalobah, Chosin and Cucurella. Romeo Lavia and Moises Caicedo are in the middle for Chelsea, with Pedro Neto and Alejandro Garnacho either side of the wings. Enzo Fernandez, who is the captain today for Chelsea, who will be looking to make an impact after Liam Rosinia sidelined him for 2 games after his comments about Real Madrid. He is playing behind João Pedro, who has done well to come back from injury and make this game. Cole Palmer and Liam Delap make the bench after coming back from knocks 2. Andre Santos, Jarahato and Wesley Fofana will also be on the substitutes bench. And looking at Leeds' side, Lucas Perry returns into the cup competition with a back three of Justin, Vigil and Pascal Strike just in front of him. Jaden Bogle and Gabriel Goodmanson will be either side of them on the flanks, while you have Ethan Ampadu, today's captain for Leeds, partnered alongside Al Tanaka, who scored against West Ham in that last round. Brendan Aronson and Noah Okafor are playing just in behind top goal scorer Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He has 12 goals in all competitions for Leeds this season. He will be looking to add to that total, and Leeds will be looking to make their first final since they played Chelsea in 1970. So focusing on that game in 1970, one of the greatest FA Cup games of all time. It was the last time that these two sides met in a final, and it took 4 hours of football, 2 games, and one of the most violent matches in British football history to separate them. Chelsea won, Leeds went home convinced that they should have, and today, 56 years on, back at Wembley, one of these clubs gets to write a new chapter. For Chelsea, battered, managerless, goalless for a month, It would be the most dramatic redemption if McFarlane was to take them to an FA Cup final in this season. And for Leeds, back in the semi-final for the first time since 1987, unbeaten against Chelsea this season, winning 3-1 at Ellen Road and then 2-2 at Stamford Bridge. It would be the fulfillment of a 56-year wait for revenge for Daniel Farke and his men. So as mentioned before, Jared Gillett, today's referee. VAR is in operation, of course, here. And it will be Chelsea's first game since the sacking of Liam Rosenior. Will they have that new manager bounce, or will the troubles continue for the Blues? These sides have met over 5 times in the FA Cup. Chelsea are 5-0 up in the head-to-head. Leeds have never beaten them in the FA Cup, which of course includes that replay at Old Trafford in 1970, which finished 2-1 after extra time. However, as mentioned, Leeds are unbeaten against Chelsea in the league this season. So here we go. Kick off in the centre circle as Chelsea are ready to get the game underway. It's a lovely sunny day here at Wembley. Afternoon delight with one of these sides facing Manchester City in the final. And here we go. The ball played back to Robert Sanchez. And this Emirates FA Cup semi-final is underway live here on TCHub. Cucurella now with the ball bouncing around the middle of the pitch as Chelsea look to get some control under it. And Leeds now, Bogle coming through. Okafor onto the ball. Dominic Calvert-Lewin tries to make away, and he is brought down on the outside of the area. Jared Gillett gives a foul, and it's an early opportunity here for Chelsea as Caicedo brings him down. And this is not how Chelsea would have wanted the game to start, just on the outside of the area. Caicedo just tries to get across, and Okafor does brilliantly just to take the ball away from him. And this is a real opportunity here for Leeds. Caicedo trying to plead his innocence, but even this early in the game, it's one of the most obvious fouls that you'll see for the entire match. And just off the ball here, I believe we have Malo Gusto down with an injury. So there's going to be a stoppage in play as we wait for this free kick to be taken. We're just seeing the replay now. He's just gets his foot stamped on there by Tanaka, I believe. He's in some pain here. But the ball under Tanaka's arm as Leeds wait to take this free kick. Obviously, Anton Stat, who just returned from injury, would be licking his lips at this opportunity on the outside of the box. He has scored a few free kick goals for Leeds this season as Daniel Farke looks on. And it was a great start for Leeds, you know, making the most of the counter. Okafor running with the ball does well. Dominic Calvert-Lewin does well to just get away from his man and creates that space. But Caicedo comes across, gives away the foul, and Leeds have a real opportunity to get an early advantage in this game. Malo Gusto back to his feet now, which is good to see. Still hobbling, still looking a little bit shaky. Now, Leeds will prepare to take this free kick. And what a side. And what a start this could be for Leeds. Well, it's been nearly 2 minutes since the free kick was awarded. And we are still waiting for it to be taken here. You can see Pedro Neto trying to cause an interference. He pushed away there. Robert Sanchez just organising his wall here. There's 4 Chelsea players in the wall with another one lying down behind him. I believe it's Garnacho. Then have 2 Leeds players to the left-hand side of the wall lined up. And then another Chelsea player either side. So it's a big wall here. It's about 20 yards out on the left-hand side of the area, just outside the D. As Tanaka and Goodmanson stand over the ball. Leeds gearing up to take this free kick now. Just Just making sure that everything's okay. And it's taken by Tanaka. And it's right over the bar. Never troubling Sanchez. Looks like the game is set to be underway again here now as we gear up for a Chelsea goal kick. After a bit of a delayed start, but fear not, as I'm sure there'll be plenty of action in this Emirates FA Cup fixture. Semi-final, live here on TCHub. Daniel Farker feeling the Wembley heat. Today was the London Marathon, of course. It's a nice sunny day for all of the runners. They'll be looking to cover some distance here, his Leeds players. So Robert Sanchez gets the ball back into play. 4 minutes just gone on the clock here as the ball is out for what I believe is a Chelsea throw-in, set to be taken by Marc Cucurella. Collectively, I believe the ball has been on the floor for about 20 seconds as of now. As we look for play to be restarted once again. Cucurella, and here comes Chelsea now. Caicedo looking to make an impact. It's another throw-in for Chelsea. They've got further up the pitch here, just on the outside of that Leeds penalty area. You can see Leeds and their defensive intentions. You can see the back five just in front of Perrin here. Chelsea looking to make slow progress up the pitch. And it's a Chelsea side, of course, without Cole Palmer, Liam Delap, who's on the bench. Missing some players through injuries and suspensions. It is what has been described as a turbulent time at Chelsea Football Club. There was protests against Blueco with a van circling around London before this game. Many fans protesting against the ownership and the business model that they have deployed. That experience has been evading Chelsea, and you think of a side who throughout the years who have won all of the trophies that they have, so often they have that experience. And here they come now as Enzo Fernandez picks up the ball from 25 yards out, and it's a shot on goal. It's collected by Luke Perrin, and that's the first shot on target of the game here. It's about 25 yards out. The ball just sits up, and you can see Enzo Fernandez. He just catches it right into the arms of Lucas Perrin. There's been a lot of pinball. The ball's been in the air a lot at the start of this game as Chelsea now going to the final third. Leads the ball out to Garnacho. He'll be looking to make an impact, looking to cut in here. Passes the ball back, and the ball is out. And Leeds now have an opportunity to counter. Into the path of Tanaka. Aronson, great play. Calvert-Lewin passes it back. And Chelsea collect the ball on the halfway line once again with Marc Cucurella. Passes it back to Tosin. Looking just for some calm and stability in what has been a frantic opening into this game. Ball being played along that Chelsea back line now. We're 6 minutes in. The sun is still shining here at Wembley. Marc Cucurella now looking to progress the ball. Enzo Fernandez, who has dropped out onto this left-hand side to collect it. Looking just to create some space, some opportunities for Chelsea to get that ball up the pitch. And it's back to Robert Sanchez now. The longest stretch of possession that Chelsea have had. And it's a long ball sent up top, which has been sent for Pedro Neto, who looks like he will get there. Just on the outside of the Leeds penalty area as he looks to bring the ball back. He manages to find Romeo Lavia. Malagusto gets that ball back to Tosin. Caicedo now fizzes it out to Cucurella. Cucurella to the path of Garnacho. Garnacho looking to make inroads into the penalty area. He finds Romeo Lavia once again. Enzo Fernandez now on the outside of the area. He whips a ball in and it's just past and it's out for a Leeds United goal kick. Chelsea looking to progress that ball, looking to make some play in the attacking third, and Callum McFarlane applauds his side's efforts in the opening 10 minutes. Well, the last time these two sides met in the FA Cup, it was February 2024. Chelsea won 3-2 thanks to a last-minute winner from Gallagher. They're hoping for a game with similar levels of entertainment now as the ball falls back to Robert Sanchez in goal. Ball at his feet as he's just egging on Dominic Calvert-Lewin to cover Preston just so he can collect the ball. Time wasting in the opening 10 minutes is not what we see quite often as he finally collects the ball and rolls it back out to Tosin, who finds it down to Cucurella. Chelsea looking just to have some dominionship over the ball and just offer some control into what has been an out-of-control time at the football club. Leon Rosenior being sacked midweek after a dramatic and dreadful 3-0 loss to Brighton, which just looked so uninspired. But they have started this game with some inspiration. They know what's at stake. An FA Cup final against Manchester City, who did Incredible to come back with an unbelievable goal from Nico Gonzalez yesterday. Chelsea now, and there's a foul in the middle of the pitch. Tanaka just brings down João Pedro. Number 22 on number 20 there, and Chelsea get the ball restarted, and it's back into the path of Pedro Neto now on this right-hand side. Malagusto looking to progress the ball as the ball comes back into Romeo Lava. Caicedo again. These two midfielders who will be looking to control that centre of the pitch for Chelsea. Two brilliant operators in that ballpark. Garnacho now. Back to Cucurella. It's been a lot of possession for Chelsea in these opening few minutes. Leeds would have expected this. They're happy to play this way, hoping for the counter. And when you have Okafor, who's in amazing form, he's obviously got 5 goals in his last 5 games for Leeds at such a crucial time in their season, as they are vying for Premier League safety at a time where it looked so uncertain. Daniel Farke, who has done amazing since Christmas. As mentioned before, they are unbeaten against Chelsea this season, and they hope that remains the same after today. Ball just back with Robert Sanchez now, still under Chelsea control. Cucurella. And we're just coming up 10 minutes here as Enzo Fernandez is brought down by Jayden Bogle. And Chelsea have a free kick in their own third. They just quickly restarted here, and that could be a foul, but the referee plays on. He brings it, no, and the ball still playing on here as Chelsea look to gather the ball. And they are now asking for the free kick, which is funny in hindsight as they were playing advantage. There's a long ball stretched to Pedro Neto, who just can't get there, and it's out for a goal kick for Leeds. In a confusing period of play there where it was a clear and obvious foul in the middle. It was Bijol on João Pedro. But Chelsea kept the ball and they decided to try and force an opening, which they were unable to do, and then subsequently asked for the free kick, in which the referee hilariously waved away. The goal kick now gets restarted. Perry, my apologies. And Pascal Strike looking to make progress down the field. Calvert-Lewin wins the flick on, but to no avail as the ball returns to Robert Sanchez now. And just look at those stats to start the game. 88% possession for Chelsea. And that's very much how I believe the game will go today. Chelsea will have a lot of the ball. Leeds are happy for that to be the case, as Leeds will be hoping they'll be able to force errors, given the way that this Chelsea side have played in recent weeks. Everybody knows about their recent league form of 5 games and 0 goals scored. Their worst run since 1912, over 100 years ago. But they'll be looking to change that now as Garnacho looking to make his way infield. Cucurella could be in an offside position as the ball potentially rolls out. Doesn't roll out for a corner there. Jayden Bogle will just be looking to get rid. But it's fallen back to Chelsea. Enzo Fernandez here with the ball in the attacking third for them. Garnacho back to Enzo, who finds Caicedo, who looks to find Garnacho, who's in here. Can he control the ball? And unfortunately, just goes out of play. He's unable to bring it down in time. But it's a promising start from Chelsea. It's more attacking play and more attacking promise than they showed throughout the entirety of their game against Brighton in midweek. Garnacho, who was just onside, he held his run brilliantly, but unable to control the ball there as we wait for a Leeds United goal kick. On the press conference this week, McFarlane said that it had been really difficult to take the job at this position, but his group is united and focused solely on today's game, which from these opening 15 minutes or so, we could definitely see as Chelsea have dominated possession. They've had a few opportunities. Enzo Fernandez hitting the target from 25 yards out. But the score is still 0-0 here as we are bringing the game live to you here on TCHub. Tonight, my name is Alex Peters. As Chelsea will be looking to make that FA Cup final. So will Leeds, their first final since their first semi-final since 1987. These two sides played in one of the most classic FA Cup games of all time in 1970, as they met in the final back in the day when you would have replays, of course. So after they were unable to find a winner after extra time in the first game, these two sides met again at Old Trafford in what has been billed as one of the most violent games in FA Cup and British history. Dominic Calvert-Lewin with the ball in the middle of the pitch here as it's bouncing around. Brendan Aronson just looking to pick it off of Tosin, but he does well to recover and the ball back with Robert Sanchez now. And Chelsea, they're happy to keep the ball, happy to be patient here, knowing that they'll have to fashion these opportunities against a solid, resilient back line for Leeds, who have played so well in recent weeks as they aim to survive in the Premier League and be there for next season. To get this far in this FA Cup competition while simultaneously fighting for their place in the league is nothing short of impressive. But Alejandro Garnacho now looking to make inroads once again. Fizzles the ball in. It's a poor cross, but the ball still there for Chelsea. It comes out on the outside to Caicedo, who's lining up a shot possibly. He finds Neto on the outside, looking to get that ball back into the area now. He's dancing around with Goodmanson as he recycles the ball back to Gusto. Gusto, who once again manages to find Chalobah there. Down to Tosin and back on the other side to Marc Cucurella. There we are now. So Leeds back in possession. And they're in the Chelsea third, and this is a great opportunity here now for Brendan Aronson. It's a great save from Robert Sanchez. There will be questions of offside. The flag has not gone up as the Chelsea defenders come back to congratulate their goalkeeper. Brendan Aronson just gave himself a moment there to compose as he took his shot, and it's a brilliant save with the legs. I think it's Tosin who just misses the ball. And with his right, he just rolls it across, but Robert Sanchez does brilliantly to stick a leg out of it as it goes out for a Leeds United corner. Their first of the game, the first of the game. It's a brilliant ball played into him. Gusto there, congratulating his keeper. He will need more saves like that as they'll be looking to make an impact and they'll be looking to make that final, Chelsea. It would be huge for their season, in a season where, despite European qualification, there really isn't too much else to play for them now. But a potential FA Cup win could put paper over the cracks over what's been a woeful season. So the ball coming in from Tanaka now. As it's into the area, a player down for Leeds, 2 players down. And it's back into the hands of Robert Sanchez. Referee waving play on here. Sanchez just looks to calm the game down for a moment. "15 minutes gone. We're a third of the way through this first half. So Chelsea have the ball, the centre circle, looking to counter once again, and it's a brilliant running. Malo Gusto now looking to make inroads as the ball just rolls across outside the penalty area. And Leeds have once again pickpocketed Chelsea, looking to counter on their own now as the ball's played into Aronson, but Cucurella does well to collect it, and it's back to Robert Sanchez once again. Romeo Lavia now with the ball. So it's been a good opening 15 minutes here at Wembley, live on TCHub once again. Manchester City and Southampton in the first Emirates FA Cup semi-final yesterday after a brilliant goal from Finn Aziz. That was ruled out by a deflected Jeremy Doku strike and Nico Gonzalez rocket. And here come Chelsea once again. João Pedro with the ball. Pedro Neto looking to get it into the area, but it's well blocked. And Leeds looking to collect the ball once again. Marc Cucurella battling there with Aronson, who goes down, and a foul was given, and Leeds have a free kick in their own defensive half. Plenty of Leeds fans who have made the trip from up north. I can imagine it was an early start, travelling down in their droves, whether that be through the train, a coach or car. They've made it here. It's such a big game for them. As I mentioned before, their first semi-final since 1987. And what it would mean for Daniel Farke and his men if they were able to win today and get to that elusive FA Cup final. João Pedro now looking to bring the ball down. No foul given there as he falls to the floor, but Leeds with some possession here, which they're not too familiar with so far in this game. They give the ball away loosely there as Cucurella just whacks it long, and that looks like it's going out for a throw-in on the opposite side of the pitch for Leeds United in their own defensive third. So they'll be more than happy with that as they just give the game a moment to settle down. Plenty of royalty here today as Leeds look to get the game restarted with a throw-in here on the left-hand side. Of course, everybody knows how big this pitch here is at Wembley. There's so much space. As the ball's back into the area, collected by Caicedo now. It's Chelsea. Get the ball back to Tosin, back in their possession as Cucurella picks up the ball in the middle of the pitch. Just looking where to play the pass as he recycles it back once again to Tosin. And Leeds will be more than happy for Chelsea to play this along their back line. They understand that the game is very much going to be this case where they'll be on the ball here as Malagusto pushes the ball into the final third and gives Pedro Neto an opportunity to take on Goodmanson, in which he's beaten him, and he gets the ball in, and it's the first Chelsea quarter of the game. Pascal Struijk puts it out of play, and they'll be looking to make an impact here, Chelsea. Let's see. A sea of white shirts behind the goal here. As Leeds fans, they did not want to miss this fixture, especially after such a dramatic game against West Ham last time in the penalty shootout. As the ball comes in here once again for Chelsea, cleared by Struijk. And a shot on target. There will be questions of a handball there. Alejandro Garnacho got the shot away. Romeo Lavia still with the ball on the outside of the area now. He manages to get it to João Pedro. But Leeds are pickpocketing it here and looking to counter with Okafor on the halfway line, but Chelsea collect the ball once again. And just calm and play down as Leeds had a couple opportunities to counter there. And that will be the worry for Chelsea, the caveat of any time that they go forward. They understand that they have Aronson, Okafor and Calvert-Lewin just waiting right on the edge of that halfway line, looking for that opportunity. Because Leeds will be more than happy to play that game. If they get a break and they manage to get one goal, they'll be more than happy to play that defensive game and let Chelsea come onto them and build that pressure. And it's a brilliant win there by Bijol as the ball comes back to Robert Sanchez. And Chelsea back in possession once again, which has been the tail of the tape of this opening 20 minutes. A lot of possession for Chelsea. There's been lots of passes with the back line. And Cucurella brilliantly finds Enzo Fernandez now, who's able to bring that ball forward. He's out to Alejandro Garnacho again, who faces Jayden Bogle. He's in the penalty area now. Ken Garnacho, he just loses control of the ball. Tried to do a stud roll, and it was brilliantly intercepted there by James Justin. Garnacho, arguably a player short of confidence after recent performances. A player who more than has the ability to cut inside and get his shot away on goal. Something we saw so much of in that first season when he was breaking out at Manchester United. That direct play is part and parcel of his game, and Chelsea will be hoping for that today. As the ball here with Romeo Lavia just on the outside. Enzo Fernandez. João Pedro, he hits the post! And the ball rolls out for a goal kick. And it's brilliant play by Enzo Fernandez, who just pokes it through for João Pedro. It's another great run. And Leeds let complacency slip in there. There will be questions of offside, but it looks like he's just able to hold his run. Gets his shot away brilliantly there, João Pedro, as it crashes onto the post, and it could have gone anywhere, but it just rolls out for a goal kick. There's a ball back in play now. Bogle looking to get onto that. And it will be a goal kick, despite the protests. Jayden Bogle. Signed for £5 million, Jayden Bogle. He's been a bargain for Leeds. He's been consistent. He's featured plenty of times this season. As the ball is back under play here. As hit long by Robert Sanchez. Pedro Neto looks to win the header. And they've given away the ball here now. Pedro Neto coming down on goal. Can he get the ball cross goal? And it's Enzo Fernandez. It's 1-0 to Chelsea. And that is huge. The captain has stepped up. A huge goal for Chelsea. Their first in 5 games. And arguably their most important here at Wembley. A lapse in concentration from the Leeds defence. And Enzo Fernandez capitalises. It all starts from a Robert Sanchez goal kick. It's hit long, it's a hopeful ball.
But I believe it's Tanaka, or Pascal Strike, sorry, just doesn't control it. And it's into the path, and there is a brilliant cross. Big weight on the ball. It just sails in. It just manages to beat, I believe, James Justin. And Enzo Fernandez, he barely has to jump. He lets the ball fall onto his head as he guides it past Lucas Perrin. And they needed that, Chelsea. After what has been a turbulent season, especially the last few games, Enzo Fernandez comes up with a huge goal, and Leeds will be looking to get back into this game now. They are already up against it, but Chelsea with the advantage now means that this Leeds side have to step up and be accounted for. A ball back underway here now. Jayden Bogle in the attacking third, whips the ball in under the possession of Garnacho now, passes it back to Cucurella. Here comes Bogle and Garnacho again, looking to make an impact. And they'll be buoyed by that, Chelsea fans. It's what they wanted, it's what they needed. The longer this game went on without a goal, the more uncertainty crept in. But Enzo Fernandez, he stood up where he was needed. Obviously dealt with the 2-game suspension recently from Leon Rosenior. And he just showed his importance to the side there. The right place at the right time. And Chelsea are 1-0 up in this Emirates FA Cup semi-final, live on TCHub. And the Chelsea players will be protesting for something here now. Dominic Calvert-Lewin looks like the man who's in question, as we just wait for a replay to see what has happened. Ball hit long here now. Just tussling with Cucurella. And it looks like there's questions of a hair pull here, and only recently we saw Dominic Calvert-Lewin himself be part of the ordeal with Manchester United's Martinez, in which saw Martinez receive a red card and a subsequent 3-game suspension. And the Chelsea players are protesting to Jared Gillett here. Only see one replay of it. He does make the motion. And VAR will be having a look at this. Oh, you do see the hair flick there from Marc Cucurella. Whether or not we saw a grab is another question, but it looks like it's been waved on as we wait for the game to be restarted here. But that would have been quite the story if we saw Calvert-Lewin receive a similar sort of dismissal for a similar sort of action as the ball's underway. Romeo Lavia here now as he falls to the ground under the pressure of Tanaka, but the ball's still in play. No foul has been given. It's out of session here as it's a Leeds United throw-in. The ball back in possession here with Leeds' back line, something which we haven't seen too much of in this game, unfortunately. They allowed Chelsea to have the ball in the opening 20 minutes. And then on the 24th minute, after some tenacious play from Pedro Neto, he manages to get that ball into the area. A delightful cross with the perfect weight on it. Finds the head of Enzo Fernandez, who just manages to beat Berry. And Chelsea are 1-0 up here in this FA Cup semi-final. Vigil now with a great pass into the middle of the pitch. He finds Okafor. He's unable to then find Goodmanson on the side, and the ball is now back under Chelsea's possession with Malo Gusto here just ahead of the halfway line. Romeo Lavia now back down to Marc Cucurella. Enzo Fernandez now looking to get the ball forward as Leeds managed to intercept the play. Back with Statch, who unfortunately was the culprit in the goal. Just picked up the ball in the middle of that area, and that Chelsea pressure was too much, as I believe we see Okafor just weave his way through the middle of the pitch, but unable to do anything more. The ball's just being played around in the middle of the area now. It's under Leeds' possession as they look to bring the ball forward. And it's a foul once again. Pedro Neto brought down Goodmanson. And Leeds have a free kick about 35, 40 yards out here on the far left-hand side. Tanaka standing over it. Dynamic centre midfielder. He scored against West Ham, of course.
wearing number 22 as he stands over the ball. Well, the Leeds players all lined up on the outside of the penalty area here, looking to get that equaliser. It's not how they would have wanted the game to start. Chelsea have been dominant. Vigil now managed to head the ball back into the area. As Chelsea fans are appealing for a free kick, and they have won it. Enzo Fernandez brought down there. And Chelsea have a free kick in the penalty area as Robert Sanchez walks up to the ball. And they'll be happy with the start. Callum McFarlane and his team, the second stint as interim manager for Chelsea, expect to take them to the end of the season, of course, after the dismissal of Liam Rosenior. He's coached for 2 games so far, Callum McFarlane, for the first team. He's in the loss to Manchester City, and then, of course, or the draw to Manchester City, of course, and then also losing the other game before Rosenior was brought in. Chelsea now, Garnacho unable to keep the ball. No, he's managed to keep it in. Enzo Fernandez with the ball, and Chelsea now just on the outside of the Leeds penalty area. Garnacho in possession. Managed to find out Pedro. Brilliant take. He evades the tackle there by Ampadu, but then the ball is won back. But Leeds, Pedro gets a shot away off target. And Leeds are just being complacent. They're making errors they don't need to here, as Chelsea are getting opportunities which may not be warranted to some degree. But just that uncertainty in getting the ball out of their own half, that's what's troubling Leeds here. And they're giving away cheap opportunities, which Chelsea need to take advantage of. The ball back in play now here. Pascal Struijk scored the winning penalty against West Ham, of course. We're hoping to find a goal of equal importance here. Pedro Neto brilliantly evades the defender now as he brings the ball back down that right-hand side. He's made brilliant ground here now into the final third. Finds Malo Gusto once again. And the ball now back in possession. Romeo Lavia is back in Chelsea half. And they'll be more than happy to play this game as they have the advantage. Chelsea 1-0 up here, 30 minutes gone on this sunny afternoon here at Wembley. And Garnacho now looking to make inroads once again down the left-hand side. He manages to get the ball in, but nobody in the penalty area. And it goes out for a Chelsea corner. Just had to be safe there, Leeds. They just had to get the ball out. Didn't know if there was anybody behind him. It's great play from Garnacho. Just a lovely 1-2 with Enzo Fernandez, I believe. And the ball arguably is best of the game, but unfortunately nobody in the area. And that's a slight downside of playing with somebody like João Pedro, who does so well to get himself involved in the rest of the game and drops deep. But in lieu of doing that, you miss that attacking presence, what you may have had with somebody like Liam Delap or Nicholas Jackson, as Chelsea now gear up for this corner. Has whipped in once again. And Pedro Neto. Tanaka gets to it first. The ball still bouncing around here. Comes out once again to Pedro Neto as he looks to get it into the area. It's a high ball. It looks like it may have just beaten everybody, and it has. And it's out for a Leeds United goal kick once again. And Daniel Farke, with a puzzled, quizzical look on his face, wondering what changes will need to be made at half-time. As we look at the goal again, Enzo Fernandez, deafening scream to the Chelsea fans. Tanaka there with a look of amusement and wondering just where this start has come from Leeds United, who have performed so well in their recent games as they look for Premier League survival. Of course, a dramatic 2-2 draw against Bournemouth midweek, which saw a 97th minute equaliser for Sean Longstaff, who was on the bench today. Anton Stack also on the bench, with plenty of attacking options as well, of course, for Leeds United, including players such as Joel Pirro and Lucas Nemecha. Chelsea now. Garnacho as he makes his way into the final third once again. Pedro here. The ball goes out for a Chelsea throw and cleared by Ethan Ampadu, formerly of Chelsea, of course. What it would mean for him if Leeds were to beat them today.
Caicedo now finds Cucurella. Questions of offside, but the ball play goes on. Garnacho now into the penalty area as the officials' flag comes up, and it will be a free kick to Leeds just outside their own penalty area. Fans of all ages here in Wembley. 80,000 capacity stadium. A sea of white, yellow and blue for Leeds fans. Of course, Chelsea fans not having to travel too far today for this big Emirates FA Cup semi-final, which has started great. Chelsea have made a really good start to the game. Leeds needing to find something which they found in their most recent performances. Plenty of time here as we approach the 34th minute. And that's a mistake there by Caicedo. And Leeds now. Okafor tries to get his shot away. It's blocked. And Tosin making the mistake. But Chelsea now looking to counter. It's a loose back pass there by Malo Gusto that's collected once again. And Chelsea will be just looking for some control once again after that lackadaisical bit of play. Cucurella manages to find Garnacho, and Garnacho is getting a lot of space out on this left-hand side. Enzo Fernandez now, who's fouled by Ampadu. And that's one of the most obvious free kicks that you will see this afternoon. There we are, just catches him, sticks out a leg. Enzo Fernandez brought down, and Chelsea have a free kick just ahead of the halfway slot. So, a strange play there by Chelsea. It's a heavy touch. It's eventually cleared again. But it's not the sort of play that Chelsea would be hoping for in a game of such importance here at Wembley. Knowing that a victory will set them up for a final against Manchester City. In the most recent fixture, Chelsea will be looking for revenge, of course, after a 3-0 loss in which they just looked so off the mark. And Garnacho is down off the ball here after being caught. Still down, but Chelsea in possession. Pedro Neto once again beating Goodmanson, and he has had a lot of joy. Garnacho is back up now. He's in the penalty area, Garnacho. This would be a story. He's managed to get away from his man. It's whipped across the face of goal, but nobody there. Another great opportunity for Chelsea. Malo Gusto collects the ball on the far right-hand side. Brought back to Pedro Neto, and Chelsea still with an opportunity here as they look to get the ball back into the area. But what play by Alejandro Garnacho. And Enzo Fernandez with the ball here now. 3 Leeds players around him. Leeds just unable to string passes together. Have control over the ball here. It's all been Chelsea in this opening first half. Garnacho loses control with the ball, and it goes out for a Leeds United throw-in. Still complaining about being brought down off the ball a couple of minutes ago. And the ball now in Leeds' possession. As it's kicked long here by Perry. Onto the halfway line. And Tanaka has once again rolled back to Perry. So Leeds will just be looking to calm the game down a little bit. It's been a first half based around errors. The Chelsea goal coming from an error by Pascal Struijk, who was the hero in the last fixture, scoring that winning penalty against West Ham in the game that felt like it went on forever. And Leeds now looking for an equaliser. They would love one before half-time. It's Goodmanson with the ball in their own half here as they're looking to make progress up the pitch. Ampadu just collects it. It's a brilliant pass out wide to Jada Bogle. Patient play. Ampadu now once again the ball in the Chelsea half. Lavia with a brilliant interception. Leeds still with the play. It's back to Bijol. And Bogle once again in the final third now. He puts it through the legs of Cucurella. It's brilliant play. And Aronson just gets the ball. It could potentially go out for a Leeds United corner. It has. Chelsea players not too happy about that. But Leeds with an opportunity here now. And they will come far and few in between. It's brilliant play by Bogle just to stick it between the legs of Cucurella, who does well to recover in the end. as Aronson tries to whip it across the face of goal. It's deflected off Cucurella, and there's a Leeds United corner here. 38 minutes on the clock as we're approaching the end of the first half. What it would need for Leeds to get a goal here. Tanaka standing over the ball. It's whipped in. It's cleared back out into the area, headed back in as it's bouncing around now. Calvert-Lewin, Chelsea player's gone down, and it's a free kick once again in the Chelsea penalty area for Chelsea. Caicedo down. Calvert-Lewin looks like the perpetrator. Just not a lot in it, but enough to bring Caicedo down. It's a free kick inside Chelsea's box. Approaching 40 minutes here. It's been a first half which saw Chelsea start brilliantly. Enzo Fernandez getting a shot on target about 25 yards out. Aronson also getting a shot on target for Leeds. João Pedro hitting the post about 20 minutes in before Enzo Fernandez headed in the opening goal of this fixture. There's been a couple incidents since that moment. There's a red card check for Dominic Calvert-Lewin for a hair pull on Marc Cucurella, of course, which in itself would have been quite ironic after what happened with Martinez a couple of weeks ago for Leeds against Manchester United. There's been a couple defensive errors. João Pedro managing to get a volleyed shot off target about 30 minutes in, and then Leeds themselves getting a blocked shot after a Chelsea defensive error. So 5 minutes left of this first half, plus added time. You believe McFarlane would be happy with the way his Chelsea side have performed, which looks light years ahead of their recent 5 performances. It's been heavily covered, but in their 5 recent games, goalless, their worst run since 1912, over 100 years ago. And they have already corrected that in the first half with Enzo Fernandez's 24th minute goal. As Chelsea have a throw in here inside Leeds' half. And an offside has been given, and it will be a free kick to Leeds United, just outside of their penalty area. Well, the sun is still shining down on the Wembley pitch of Daniel Farke, although the mood may be in slight contrast between him and his lead players at the moment. It's not been an encouraging first half for his side. As Perry gets the ball long here. It's headed away by Caicedo. Back into the possession. Jadon Bogle, who's whips it across, and it's hopeful, and it's cleared once again by the Chelsea back line. But Leeds got the ball. Jadon Bogle once again. The ball, and it's a whipped cross, but it goes out for a Leeds United throw-in. Some better play in the last 5 minutes from Leeds. Managed to get the ball up a pitch a bit more. Chelsea retreating. Are happy for the score to be 1-0 going into half-time, as Ethan Ampadu gears up for a long throw here. And the throw comes in from Ampadu. It's got some great height in it. It's bouncing around that penalty area. Okafor here now, and it's a blade shot over the crossbar. Never troubling Robert Sanchez. And Chelsea will be happy to slowly restart the game here now, as we're just past 42 minutes. Thank you for joining us here live on TCHub. My name is Alex Peters as we come towards the end of this first half, as the Leeds players retreat to their defensive half. Robert Sanchez getting ready to take the goal kick. Goal kick's taken. Header won by Vigil, and then again by Aronson. Questions of a foul, but the ball just being played about there. It eventually lands to the feet of Ampadu, who manages to get it back to Vigil, who whips a long ball forward, cleared by Gusto. And it will be a Leeds United throw-in.
Ball played back now. Into the path for Pascal Struijk, who will be looking to make amends for that error. He's played so well in recent weeks for Leeds United, and very unlike him to have such a lapse in concentration, which unfortunately led to them conceding the first goal of this game. Not so unfortunate, of course, for Chelsea and Callum McFarlane, and of course Enzo Fernandez, today's captain for Chelsea, comes up with a captain's goal as Chelsea lead 1-0 in this Emirates FA Cup semi-final. Of course, the winner playing Manchester City. Ball once again launched long by Leeds here. Bounces around the area. And looking to get the ball wide to Aronson, who's come right out to the touchline here and just hopes of getting more space. It's been a compact, resolute defensive performance from Chelsea so far. There's been a couple errors, but nothing to worry about too much. This is another foul for Okafor, who's been brought down as Leeds have a free kick just ahead of the centre circle here. Tanaka quickly taken as it passes back to Vigil. James Justin now with the ball. Fizzled it long, but it's a nobody as the ball rolls out once again for a Chelsea goal kick. It was very much a hit and hope. James Justin, who has played very well in the last few weeks alongside many other Leeds players, as some performances they've churned out. It looks like they have secured their Premier League status for next season, but they'll be looking to end the season with an FA Cup final visit if possible, and they'll be dreaming of some silverware to add to this season. So we've just crossed 45 minutes here. Robert Sanchez taking the free kick, as it's won there by Chelsea. Their appeals for handball. We've got 4 minutes added on here in the first half of this second Emirates FA Cup semi-final between Chelsea and Leeds. Ball in possession now with Jayden Bogle as he once again finds Ethan Ampadu, collects the ball in the middle of the park. João Pedro just looking to press and try and force an error as Pedro Neto did, and it's a lovely touch there by Noah Okafor. There's a free kick to Leeds. Tosin commits a foul. Calvert-Lewin brings him down. Tanaka here once again. A free kick for Leeds just inside the centre circle. As mentioned before, they will be hoping for an equaliser before half-time, just to change the narrative as they head back in to the dressing room. Daniel Farker has a lot of work to do for this side as they've looked way off it so far, and it's a knockdown one, but it's another free kick to Chelsea inside their penalty area. This time Pascal Struijk on Romeo Lavia. Looks like a head injury. He's already back to his feet, fortunately. And as you can see from the replay, yeah, it's just both hands on the back of his head. It's quite foolish there for Pascal Struijk. It's not been the best half of football for him, but fortunately there's a second half there for him to make amends, and he'll be looking to do so. Daniel Farker looking on there, just wondering what needs to be changed for this Leeds side when they come back out for the second half. Chelsea have played very well. Callum McFarlane will be impressed with the performance that the Blues have put in, albeit anything would have been an improvement on the last 5 games. And Pedro Neto just wins the ball here as Chelsea comfortably have it inside their own half. It's back with Tosin, back to Robert Sanchez. So the final 2 minutes here of the first half. The Blues will be the happier of the two sides. Leeds with plenty of questions. The game plan's not worked so far. They wanted to allow Chelsea to have the ball, and the opening stats showed that Chelsea were nearly 90% possession after the first 15 minutes. And then not long after, that Enzo Fernandez header putting them ahead. James Justin takes a throw in here. Back to Vigil inside the Leeds defensive half. Pascal Struijk now looking to make progress. Ampadu collects the ball. He's just dropped back into that Leeds back line. In possession of Jayden Bogle now as we approach the final minute of this first half. Thank you very much for joining us here on TCHub. As mentioned before, my name is Alex Peters. Of course, we'll be bringing you the second half. We will also be bringing you the final here on TCHub, alongside plenty of games in the summer as the World Cup in America looks set to kick off. But right now, we are focused on this Emirates FA Cup semi-final between Chelsea and Leeds, which is currently 1-0 to Chelsea. Just over 30 seconds left of this first half. Enzo Fernandez, 24th minute, a brilliant cross from Pedro Neto. Finds Enzo Fernandez, just guides it into the corner past Perry. As the ball's hoofed long here and won by Bijol. Out to Goodmanson. Pedro Neto does well to close down as they're fighting for the ball. Just tries to beat him, and Chelsea looking to cause more damage here at the end of the half. It's Pedro Neto as he makes a direct run. It's brilliant running here. Tenacious play, and he gives away a foul eventually, but not for the lack of effort. It was brilliant play. He brings down Goodmanson, just catches him as he tries to win the ball, of course, which may be the final play of this first half here at Wembley. It's great play from Pedro Neto. Just brings the ball down, and that will be the end of the first half here between Chelsea and Leeds. Enzo Fernandez stepped up when it mattered, and he managed to direct a brilliant Pedro Neto cross into the back of the Leeds net past Lucas Perry. Aronson, who of course had a chance around 15 minutes in. His shot on target was saved, and Enzo Fernandez also with an earlier chance of the game, about 25 yards out. But Chelsea players coming off the pitch here in conversation, but they will be happy with how that game kicked off and how they started and the result going in at half-time. So the halftime break is here. Thank you for joining us on TCHub. My name is Alex Peters. We will run through the results of the other games. Of course, the other semi-final finished Manchester City 2, Southampton 1. A brilliant effort from Finn Aziz in the 79th minute. Curled past James Trafford. It was countered by Jeremy Doku, who just a couple minutes later got the deflected equaliser for Manchester City before a Nico Gonzalez rocket was past the Southampton goalkeeper. So Manchester City will be in that final, and the winner of this tie between Chelsea and Leeds United, which is currently 1-0 to Chelsea at half-time, they will face Manchester City on Saturday, the 23rd of May, which of course is another game that will be live here on the Commentary Hub, so make sure that you're there to check it out. In terms of other results, of course, there were Premier League fixtures yesterday. Sunderland and Nottingham Forest on Friday night. Nottingham Forest, who raced to a 4-0 lead in that game in the first half before Elliot Anderson capped off what was a brilliant display and looks to ensure their safety going into next season. Fulham beat Aston Villa 1-0 in the early kickoff before the 3 p.m.s featured Liverpool winning 3-1 against Crystal Palace. West Ham United dramatically beating Everton thanks to a late Callum Wilson winner. Wolverhampton Wanderers, who of course are obviously already relegated, could have caused quite the upset against Spurs, but a late goal from Spurs meant that they got their first win of 2026. But of course, they are still in the relegation zone after that win for West Ham yesterday. In the half-5 kickoff, Arsenal went back on top of the Premier League thanks to a 1-0 win against Newcastle United after a brilliant strike from Eberechi Eze. That, of course, is bookmarked by the fact that Manchester City have a game in hand once again against Arsenal, as that title race is hotting up as we reach the end of the season. Manchester United and Brentford will be playing tomorrow, which will be Manchester United's 9th Monday game of the season, and Bruno Fernandes will of course be looking to target that assist record come Monday night. Moving on down into the EFL now, there's some highlighted results that we have for you here. Salford City beating League Two leaders Bromley 2-0, which helped move Salford into the playoff spots. You have Birmingham City beating Bristol City 2-1 in the Championship. Charlton Athletic 2, Hull City 1 also. Middlesbrough ran to a 5-1 victory over Watford, whereas Norwich City drew 1-1 with Swansea. Two teams towards the bottom of the league in the Championship, Oxford United and Sheffield Wednesday. It finished 4-1 to Oxford United, in which has been a dreadful campaign for Sheffield Wednesday. Queen's Park Rangers lost 2-3 to Derby County in what was a big win for them, whereas Sheffield United also lost 2-3 at home to Preston North End. Stoke City lost out at home as well to Portsmouth, as Portsmouth came away with a 3-1 victory, whereas West Brom, who have recently been deducted 2 points in the league table, played out a 0-0 draw for Ipswich, who are obviously hoping for promotion. Earlier today, Coventry City beat Wrexham 3-1. Coventry City, of course, already promoted, and they'll be playing their first Premier League football in over 20 years. Moving on into the results in League One now, you have Blackpool, who beat Leyton Orient 1-0. Bradford City 1, Bolton Wanderers 1. Burton Albion 1, Exeter City 1. Cardiff City ran to a 5-1 victory over Northampton Town. Doncaster Rovers and Stevenage played out a 1-1 draw. Huddersfield Town lost 4-1 to Mansfield at home, whereas Lincoln City, the Imps, who have enjoyed such a great season, beat Wycombe Wanderers 4-3. Luton Town beat Barnsley 2-1, as did Plymouth Argyle over already relegated Port Vale. Rotherham United played out a 1-1 draw with Reading, whereas Stockport County won 3-1 against Peterborough United, before Wigan Athletic lost 1-0 to Wimbledon at home. Moving on into League Two, we had a thriller between Accrington Stanley and Crawley Town that finished 3-3. Barnet won an emphatic victory against Gillingham, winning 6-2, as Bristol Rovers also won 4-0 against Cheltenham. Cambridge United beat Barrow 3-0 at home, whereas Chesterfield also won 2-0 at home against Crewe Alexandra. Colchester United lost 1-0 at home to Notts County, before Grimsby Town, who are vying obviously of course for those playoff spots, had a convincing victory over Swindon, winning 4-0 at home. MK Dons 3, Tranmere Rovers 0. Newport County won 3-2 against Oldham Athletic. Shrewsbury Town played out a 2-0 draw with Fleetwood, whereas Walsall lost 2-0 to Harrogate Town at home. And of course, arguably the game of the weekend in the National League, which saw first versus second between Rochdale and York City. Rochdale getting a 95th minute, what they thought was a winner, of course, which led to a pitch invasion. And then in the 102nd minute, Josh Stones bundled the ball over the line to give league leaders York City that elusive promotion spot, as they will be playing in League Two next season. Good afternoon and welcome back to TCHub. If you're just joining us here, don't worry, I'll be able to give you a recap of everything that's happened. So 1-0 to Chelsea as we head up for the second half. It was a game that started off very dominant by Chelsea. They were all over the ball, possession of their advantage. Enzo Fernandez managed to get a shot away after the 7th minute, which went straight into the keeper's hands. Aronson for Leeds then had a shot on target for Chelsea. Ramped up the pressure. João Pedro hit the post in the 21st minute before Enzo Fernandez was able to meet Pedro Neto's lovely lofted ball across the area and give Chelsea that lead. So here we are. Looks like we have some substitutes for Leeds United. Just looking to confirm who has come off, as Joe Rodon is on the pitch and Anton Stach, returning from injury, has also made his way onto the field. So we'll just get confirmation on those substitutes for you momentarily. As the second half looks to get underway here, with Tanaka standing over the ball. And Leeds, it's a big second half to help define their season. And as we mentioned before, Premier League survival looks all but secured. But an FA Cup final would be incredible for this Leeds United side. As we're underway here, as the ball is rolled back to Perry. As it's launched long into the Chelsea defensive area. And Leeds looking to start this second half with some impetus, with some desire, with some fight. All these things evaded them in the first half, as they have 45 minutes to try and change their season. And it's a big pump to the crowd there by Jayden Bogle. He knows the importance of getting the crowd behind you here. And this massive stadium, 80,000 people potentially here today to watch this Emirates FA Cup semi-final between Chelsea and Leeds. And you are listening to it here live on TCHub. My name is Alex Peters, as there's another Leeds United throw in as the ball comes in. And it's met there by Stach. And it's something, what a save by Robert Sanchez as he tips it over. It's a corner to Leeds. And my, oh my, did Joe Rodon catch that? And what an impact. Oh, it's Stach, apologies. He caught the ball sweetly. Incredible power. And Robert Sanchez does so well just to get a fist to it. A strong hand which guides it over the bars. It's a Leeds United corner here. And they'll be buoyed by that start to the half. Ball comes in here now. Cleared by Tosin. Ball comes back, and what an impact that would have been on Stach, who has scored some brilliant goals for Leeds since joining them in the summer. Played so well, and that could have been the best of the lot, but that is the exact sort of start they'll be hoping for as Chelsea have a free kick here in the middle of the park. Enzo Fernandez, who's been brought down. Daniel Farke on the sideline protesting his innocence. As we are underway here. The sun's still shining down here at Wembley, as it typically does on these FA Cup final and semi-final fixtures. João Pedro there, just looking to collect the ball in front of that Leeds back line. Romeo Lavia now. Pedro Neto with the ball as it finds João Pedro, who's got the ball in the penalty box now, and it's a slip there. And brilliant play. Chelsea with a real opportunity here. Could it be? And it's just gone wide. Just unable to convert it. And it was João Pedro with the opportunity there. He just dilly-dallied on the ball that little bit too long. But it goes out. It's a great play by Chelsea. There was a brilliant cutback from what I believe was Malo Gusto. Enzo Fernandez just helps guide the ball into the path of João Pedro. And he's unable to get a shot off there as it just bundles out of play. It's a brilliant defending from, I believe, is it Ampadu? Yeah, Ampadu just manages to get away. So it will be a Chelsea corner here as we're entering just into the 49th minute here. A frantic start to the second half as the ball's whipped in, and there's another corner for Chelsea there, cleared by Tanaka. Just to confirm the substitutions as well, as mentioned. Saw Anton Stach come on, he came on for Bijol, whereas James Justin came off for Joe Rodon. Taking the corner here. Neto in the ball. Rolls up to Caicedo, who'll be looking to get into the area now. He's just on the outside as he makes inroads in. Malo Gusto now. It's deflected. It's another Chelsea corner, their third already in this second half. They'll be looking to make them count. Callum McFarlane there, looking at his notes. Chelsea will be looking to protect this lead that they have. Secure that FA Cup final against Manchester City toward the end of May. So it's another corner here for Chelsea. And third of the half. It's whipped in by Pedro Neto, guided in into the area. Ball bundled out, is out of the penalty area now. In possession of Moises Caicedo, about 30 yards from the Leeds United goal. Once again, it finds Pedro Neto on this right-hand side as he stands up Jayden Bogle, who just plays the ball back into the path of Enzo Fernandez, who finds Caicedo, plenty of area, just tries to poke it through to no avail, and Leeds now looking to counter as Okafor has the ball on the halfway line, played in by Tanaka, and it's brilliant. He's managed to beat Enzo Fernandez now. It's a big opportunity for Leeds here. He manages to get down the byline, and it's just whipped in. It's just over the head of Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but the ball falls to Stacks on the outside of the area. Still in possession with Leeds now, but unconvincingly as it falls back to Chelsea. And it's quick play as he's brought down. And it's a Chelsea free kick in the middle of the area. João Pedro brought down once again. So much better start from Leeds United in this second half. They've came out with some attacking intent, knowing that this is a semi-final they're playing for. Of course, the winner goes to Wembley once again, and they'll face Manchester City, and they will have that opportunity to win some silverware. And for both sides, it would be so important for the seasons that they've had. Leeds, who started the season really unconvincingly, have managed to turn it around under Daniel Farke, who's done brilliantly since December time. Leeds, more than sure thing for the Premier League next season. But here they are now, vying for some FA Cup success as the ball comes into the area, but it's cleared. Malo Gusto now as it's hit long by Tosin, out of danger. Leeds win the header in the middle of the park as it's headed back towards the Chelsea penalty area. Malo Gusto now collects the ball as Leeds just keeping that pressure on. Bielsa-esque, the way they're all over the ball here. Tanaka now picks up the ball once again, finds Aronson. The ball bundles out of play for a Chelsea goal kick. Much to the dismay of Brendan Aronson there, the American. So of course, it's the substitutions that many Leeds fans would have been hoping for. Anton Stach has played such an important part in this Leeds United squad this season. Of course, the German centre midfielder joined in the summer. A standout performer for this Leeds United side. They battled to stay in the Premier League, which looks assured after their performance against Bournemouth in midweek. Sean Longstaff grabbing a 97th minute equaliser. In dramatic fashion, and what a goal it was. And they'll be hoping for something similar in this game now, as they're currently trailing 1-0 to Chelsea in this Emirates FA Cup semi-final, brought to you live on TCHub with me, Alex Peters. Ball in the middle of the park now. Ethan Ampadu, the former Chelsea player, looking to impact on this game. He manages to find Okafor, who's far out on this left-hand side. Just trying to get some space. Ball comes back now. Ethan Ampadu. And Chelsea will be happy for Leeds just to play it around as they have every man behind the ball. But Okafor looking to make an impact, and he's brought down by Malo Gusto. The referee doesn't see anything in it. They're still fighting for the ball there. Aronson now trying to pinch the ball off him. Gusto fighting brilliantly there. There's the ball still in play. It's a crazy scene going on at the moment as you have about 5 men around the same ball. Okafor brings down Lavia, still fighting, and this is a battle. This is what you want to see in an FA Cup semi-final. Two teams, two sets of players who are dying to win. Okafor with some brilliant battling there, and credit has to go to Malo Gusto, who defended so valiantly. So 53 minutes in here.
It's Malo Gusto. Looks to take this throw for Chelsea in their own half as the ball's back into play. Until stack now for Leeds. Leeds now, the much better football in this second half in comparison to the first, where it looked like the occasion had got to them. You know, they weren't playing the football which they had been playing recently, and it was polar opposite to Chelsea, who have been so woeful in their recent performances. Of course, going the last 5 games without a goal. But Leeds now, Goodmanson on the ball. Okafor picks up the ball on the left-hand side of the penalty area. As the ball's whipped in just over everybody as it goes out for another Chelsea goal kick. Okafor, who recently 5 goals in his last 5 games. That included 2 goals against Manchester United at Old Trafford, giving Leeds their first victory there in over 20 years. And plenty of Leeds fans here singing the side's praises. And they know they're not down and out at this time. With the score being 1-0 in the way that Leeds have set up and intended to play on the counter, they know there's still a chance. But here come Chelsea now looking to double the lead. And it's got Nacho, and it's a deflected shot, and it will be another corner. James Justin just managing to get himself in the way there. Garnacho looking to find that corner, but it's something which Leeds have to be aware of as they chase this equaliser. The more men they commit forward, the more opportunities that will rise for Chelsea. And they do have that pace on the wing in Neto and Garnacho. As they gear up for what will be their 4th quarter of the half. Posen will be looking to meet it as Enzo Fernandez stands over the ball here. And Goodmanson is on the floor. Slight delay in the corner being taken. And there's Enzo. Misses everybody as it goes out for a Leeds United goal kick. Regardless of the corner effort, it's a big game for Enzo Fernandez, captain in this Chelsea side, of course. And in the 24th minute, after some brilliant play from Pedro Neto, who was tenacious in winning the ball off a Pascal strike, forcing the error, he just manages to cut inside, and he brings that ball into an area where he's able to lift it, and it just beats the defender. And Enzo Fernandez barely had to jump as he guided it into the corner and put Chelsea 1-0 ahead in this Emirates FA Cup semi-final. The ball back in play now as it finds its way back to the Leeds United goalkeeper Perry. Some sustained possession, which should be welcomed, of course. Especially after the dominance of that Chelsea first-time display. And they're just playing around at back line now and making a few fans here nervous as Enzo Fernandez pushes Tanaka off with the ball. The referee allows the play to go on as it was already in possession of Leeds. As they're looking to make inroads once again here now. Joe Rodon looking to impact this game after coming on at half-time with James Justin. Ampadu now. Deflected off of Lavia, but still in possession of Leeds. Okafor, who's came further out on this left-hand side into the second half. Manages to get the ball in. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, brilliant! It's just saved, but he manages to rise in the air. He meets the ball perfectly, but it falls into the hands of Robert Sanchez. And anywhere else, that would be a goal. But straight at the keeper, who just has to raise his hands to collect that. And Leeds, stark contrast to the first half in the opening 15 minutes where Chelsea had 90% possession. Leeds now nearing 70% with this game kicking off. Calvert-Lewin with his first shot on target there for Leeds. A much better start as the ball tries to come into the area again, but it's back in possession of Chelsea now as they're looking to counter. Pedro Neto looking to reach this long ball that's been sent. It will be met by Strike, who does well this time after the error in the first half. They have a bit about them, Leeds. They understand what's at stake here. They know they need to perform. They know they need to raise the levels if they are wanting to get that equaliser and if they are wanting to make that FA Cup final against Manchester City. There's a ball here now. Statch, who just plays it out wide brilliantly there to Jadon Bogle. Finds Statch again, who's brought down on the ball. Is it Caicedo? And it will be the first booking of this game. Moises Caicedo brings down Anton Stack. And Leeds have a free kick about 25 yards out, 30 yards out on the right-hand side of the box. There we are, Moises Caicedo with the first yellow card of the game. As we approach the 60th minute mark, Robert Sanchez is just down here at the moment. As we wait for the play to be restarted, Daniel Farker has his arms up, suggesting there may be an element of time wasting here. And Pascal Strike is also claiming the same. We're just watching the replay as you see Tosin come over and speak to Sanchez. And you then see Sanchez go down, and things are getting a little bit heated here. Ampadu and Lavia have clashed in what seems to be a tactical move by Chelsea. And a few staff members and players getting involved here on the sidelines as the players come over for a walk. And the Leeds players clearly trying to disrupt this Chelsea tactical break, and McFarlane wanted to get some of his messages across now. And it's the dark arts of football that we're seeing here. Of course, Arsenal have been guilty of doing the same across this season. It's a move which lawmakers are looking to stamp out of the game, where you see a keeper go down. And now we're seeing the replays of McFarlane telling Tosin to tell his keeper to go down. And the way this is playing out, you can't help but laugh. Oh, football. The things we do. Looks like some order has been restored to the game, to the semi-final here at Wembley as we cross the 61st minute mark. Sanchez tactically going down so McFarlane could get some messages across. We still await this Leeds United free kick. Of course, a foul happened around 2-3 minutes ago now. Well, Anton Stack is standing over it, and despite his ability, I don't think he will be going for goal from this range. He'll be looking to get that ball in onto the head of Calvert-Lewin, onto the head of Joe Rodon. Leeds definitely have some height. Here comes the ball now, and it's some effort. Anton Stack proving me wrong, as it looks like he did go for goal there. A fizzed effort. Ultimately going wide. Sanchez never really troubled. It's a power on that. But it will be a Chelsea goal kick. Statch, of course, looking to impact the game in the way that he would do so. Would be from range. He's had some brilliant goals to Leeds this season. He looked for another one there, but Robert Sanchez launches the ball long. So just gone 62 minutes here. Chelsea 1, Leeds United 0 in this Emirates FA Cup semi-final. Possession with Chelsea. Caicedo. Ball comes back to Tosin now. Lavia. The ball gone long into the path. And Lucas Perry, who rolls it back out. And the ball with Leeds United here. And Chelsea looking to make some more substitutions now. Josh Archerpong, as they look to shore up the defence. as Leeds look to get the game restarted here. Pascal Strike on the ball. Of course, his error leading to that opening goal for Chelsea in the first half. Pedro Neto managing to capitalise as he put the ball in the area for Enzo Fernandez. His header guided past Perry. Chelsea still leading 1-0 because of that goal. Ball with Caicedo here now. Jayden Bogle looking to control it as Chelsea looking to win it back in the centre of the pitch. Neither team able to control it now. And the ball has found Tanaka as Leeds push on into the Chelsea third. There's Okafor again. They'll be looking for his brilliance. Beats one, doesn't get past the second, but Goodmanson collects it again as he lifts that ball into the area. Calvert-Lewin battering and Tosin Tanaka's volleyed shot goes wide. It will be a Chelsea goal kick. But ultimately, it's better play from Leeds. They're getting the ball into the area. They're getting these shots off, albeit not on goal. But the signs are much more encouraging than what they were in the first half. Andre Santos looks like he'll be coming on for Chelsea. And Romeo Lavia's race is run. It's to see him get 65 minutes to Chelsea fans will be buoyed by that. A player so promising, but his career has been blighted with injuries. Very much stop-start. But he will be happy with the performance so far. So off comes Romeo Lavia, on comes number 17, Andre Santos. He played under Liam Rosenior, of course, at Strasbourg. He was part of that midfield, which saw them run up the table. They started a lot of the games under Rosenior's reign, which came to an end midweek when the Chelsea board decided to sack him after 4 months. And Callum McFarlane returned as interim manager. The ball back in play now here for Chelsea with Mark Cucurella, Moises Caicedo managing to move it along to Andre Santos. The ball out to Gusto, and Chelsea will be happy to play this way for the rest of the game if needed. Neto now in possession. The ball comes back to Tosin, into the path of Cucurella. Cole Palmer just receiving instructions now. Pedro Neto manages to find Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez into Caicedo. Cucurella now fizzes the ball in, and it's I would love to tell you what attempt that was, whether it was a cross-come shot, whether he was trying to fizz a pass to the other side and switch it, but either way, it fell into the hands of the Leeds United goalkeeper. Leeds have the ball now. Calvert-Lewin is brought down, but the referee doesn't give it. It's the ball in the middle of the pitch now, and Okafor, who looks like he's in some discomfort. I believe it's Cramp being stretched out here by Stroik. You see just him and Enzo Fernandez both full of hunger and desire to get their sides to this FA Cup final. Calvert-Lewin, he'll be ruined that chance. But the opportunities will come few and far. And that was arguably his biggest one of the game so far. A top goal scorer for Leeds this season in the league. He's got 12 goals. Of course, joined them from Everton. With the World Cup coming up, he will be hoping for a strong end to the season, which could possibly involve another appearance at Wembley if Leeds were to turn this game around. So Leeds in possession now. Joe Rodon came on at half-time. Of course, for James Justin. Tanaka now. Yao Pedro, the ball bobbling along. Andre Santos, and the referee has called stoppage here. Andre Santos brought down. And Cole Palmer is stripped and ready, receiving his final instructions. Chelsea fans will be happy to see the sight of him there. Leeds looking for an equaliser. Chelsea looking for a second goal just to secure this result. Goodmanson currently on the ball as we approach the 70th minute mark in what has been a great game here so far in the Emirates FA Cup semi-final, live on TCHub. Chelsea in possession now. Enzo Fernandez just passes the ball into the final third. Marc Cucurella passes it back. And Chelsea don't need to attack at this point of the game. Of course, looking for that second goal would bring the security and comfortability in the result, but they understand that they're leading, and they're leading against a team who need to get the equaliser, so they'll wait for these opportunities to counter. They'll wait for Leeds to commit men forward, and they'll wait for the tired legs to factor in. But here they are now, Alejandro Garnacho with the ball on the byline. Tosin now. It's a loose ball, but finds Pedro Neto on this far right-hand side as he looks. Size up Goodmanson one again. He's had a horrid afternoon, Goodmanson, against Pedro Neto. It's Chelsea just controlling this ball now in the centre of the park. Trevor Chalobah. Possession, but the ball fizzed out once again onto the far left-hand side. Garnacho looking to size up Bogle. Bogle, slight contrast to Goodmanson. He's done well once again there, Bogle. Wins the ball. It's now in possession of Leeds. Great control. It goes out for a Leeds throw inside their own half, but better, solid defensive play there. Leeds looking to make some substitutes there. As Nemecha and Noto are looking to come on. But Cole Palmer's ready, as he'll be coming on for Alejandro Garnacho, who has been direct, but he has not been able to have the influence on the game that he would have desired. You know, there's been some great moments there with Garnacho being able to drive the ball into that Leeds United penalty area, but unable to create anything, a product from it. As the ball's restarted here, Leeds, Pascal Strike currently on the ball as he looks to send the ball long into the path of Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who will be battling with Tosin here. Gusto wins the ball. It comes back into the path of Strike to Naka. 71 minutes gone here. Leeds understand that there's not a lot of time left for them to find this equaliser. The urgency, the impetus, it all needs to increase in these last 20 or so minutes. And that it has. Goodmanson now gets the ball, whips it into the area. Bogle, as the ball looks like it's going to run out for a goal kick to Chelsea. Just unable to control it there. And that's somewhat been the story of this half with Leeds United. There's been great play in moving that ball into that final area, the danger area. But when push comes to shove, they've been unable to make anything, a product out of it, unfortunately. As Robert Sanchez slowly makes his way to take this free kick. Leeds fans clearly remonstrating and asking for the time to be checked. A few fans there. And the ball is back in play now as he passes it out. It's Chalobah who hits it long, but once again the ball goes back to Leeds, and there's just a bit of complacency seeping in here from Chelsea. The ball back with Leeds as they go on this right-hand side. Looks like a Leeds United corner. Yes, Moises Caicedo just manages to block it. Leeds know that this is an opportunity. This ball comes in from Stat now. Cleared by Cucurella. It will be a throw-in. Subs for Leeds United here. As Nemecha and Wilfred Gnonto looking to join the field. And Noah Okafor's race has run. The man who Leeds United fans would have been counting on today, who's done so well in recent performances. He played well, but unable to get on the score sheet today. And they'll be looking to change that with these additions of Wilfred Gnonto and Lucas Nemecha. ball comes in for Leeds here. So just to confirm, that's Tanaka and Okafor off for Nemecha and Wilfred Gnonto. But here come Chelsea. Pedro Neto once again running down this right-hand side. Beats Goodmanson, but unable to beat Anton Stack, who has played very well since he's come onto the pitch. There have been few opportunities in the second half. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, of course. His header comfortably saved by Robert Sanchez around the 60th minute mark. And Chelsea now, Malo Gusto playing the ball back to Robert Sanchez. And Sanchez distributes it into the path for Tosin. Tosin to Cucurella. And foul there possibly. No, Leeds United. Oh, but there's a retaliation. Is that Enzo Fernandez? That is. The Chelsea captain, fouling Ethan Ampadu, the former Chelsea player. And here come Leeds once again. It's Struijk who will be looking to make amends for that first half error. But the ball is not full to Leeds, and it's back in possession of João Pedro now on the halfway line as he's fouled, and it looks like a yellow card will be given to Pascal Struijk. A tactical booking, as some may say. Just got a hold of his shirt there as Pedro goes to ground. Just to confirm, Pascal Struijk with a booking. So it's a booking apiece now for the two sides. Cole Palmer on the ball, Chelsea's number 10, the talismanic creative outlet. Had a stop-start season though, unfortunately. Injury has blighted that. He's had some brilliant moments, of course, a hat-trick against Everton. But he'll be looking to hit some consistent form and get some minutes in his legs ahead of England's 2026 World Cup campaign this summer in America. Cucurella hits the ball long into the path of Perry as Leeds United have the ball once again. So 76 minutes gone here. Chelsea 1, Leeds United 0. Going the way that Chelsea will be hoping for after what has been a troublesome few weeks. And Callum McFarlane manages to come in here and Chelsea get their first goal in their last 5 games. And what an important goal it could be from their captain, Enzo Fernandez. Cole Palmer with the ball on the right-hand side now. Tries to get past Goodmanson. May have committed the foul. And the referee deems it to be. And Cole Palmer receiving a booking for throwing the ball away there. Some petulance from the Chelsea man. Not the sort of impact he would have been hoping to make in this game. Perry hits long. The ball back into the Chelsea half now as Leeds looking to win the knock-on. Headed away by Caicedo, but it falls to Wilfred Gnonto. Joe Rodon now. Ampadu gives the ball away, and it was a foul, and it will be a yellow card. After an error there from Ampadu with the booking confirmed. Was always going to happen. Just lapse in concentration, and Pedro Neto, who's been so sharp this entire game, capitalises on that, and Ampadu had no other choice but to bring him down to stop the counter. So one of the most obvious yellow cards you'll see this on this day. Catching Neto on the toe there. So Callum McFarlane, he'll be looking for his first victory as coach
of the Chelsea first team. And the 2 games he recently took over with them was a draw and a loss. But what an important victory this could be for Chelsea. As Enzo Fernandez stands over the free kick, about 35, 40 yards from goal on the left-hand side of the pitch. Chelsea get the play restarted here. It's Malo Gusto now in possession as Chelsea just looking to take the sting out of the game as we approach the 80th minute mark. Just playing the ball along the back line, but Marc Cucurella has to have a bit more urgency than that as Wilfred Gnonto closes down, but the ball's still in possession. Chelsea clear it long. Won again by Leeds. Calvert-Lewin looking to win the knock-on here. Just can't bring it under control. Andre Santos now. And here comes Enzo. Here comes Chelsea. Looking to release Cole Palmer, and that they've done. Goodmanson looking to track back, and he does well. It looks like a free kick here for Leeds United in the middle of the pitch for a collision. What I believe is Nemecha and Andre Santos. As some medics have been called onto the pitch here, so we're likely to have a stoppage in play. So just go through this game so far in 24th minute. Pedro Neto putting a lovely ball to Enzo Fernandez, who guided it past Berry and gave Chelsea the lead. That wasn't responded to well by Leeds. They barely made much of an effort in the first half. You know, Chelsea were all over them. They dominated the possession. Towards the end, they had a few spots of better possession, but Chelsea well and truly dominated that first half. Couple substitutions for Leeds, saw Stack and Rodon come on. Stack, who's played very well for them so far. Saw Leeds start the second half a bit brighter, of course. They had a few counters, and then that led to a Dominic Calvert-Lewin shot on target around the 60th minute mark. A header which was straight at the keeper, unfortunately. And since that moment, not a whole lot has happened. We've had 4 bookings for Caicedo, Struijk, Palmer and Ampadu. And here we are in the 81st minute now with the ball in possession of Leeds in this Emirates FA Cup semi-final, with the winner of this tie, of course, playing Manchester City on Saturday, the 23rd of May, a game that will be live here on TCHub. Daniel Farker will be looking to his bench thinking, what other changes can be made? All the obvious changes that these Leeds fans would have wanted have almost been made, of course, for bringing Wilfred Gnonto and Lucas Nemecha onto the pitch. There is, of course, Joel Pirro, last season's top goal scorer, who could come on and make an impact for them. Leeds now with the ball in the final third. Brendan Aronson looking to fashion an opening. Chelsea players defended doggedly. They are 2 free players surrounding the ball every time that Leeds have it. Cole Palmer on this right-hand side. He swapped with Pedro Neto, playing on his preferred side. Of course, he's unable to close the ball down now, but Calvert-Lewin in possession. He looks to battle, or Nemecha, sorry. Finds Stack. Stack now about 25 yards out. Lets an effort off. Was always going over, was always hopeful. Of course, we know he has the ability. But that one was always sailing over the bar. Robert Sanchez here, taking his time, or as much as that he can, to get the game restarted. As we look at the attempts, there's 7 attempts from Chelsea, 2 on target, whereas Leeds have managed to have 10 attempts with 3 on target. Not able to make any of them count, unfortunately. And the ball rolled out now to Joe Rodon. Back to Perry. And Leeds will be well aware that it's now or never for them. They have dreams of an FA Cup final, their first since that classic in 1970
against Chelsea. They'll be looking for revenge. It's been 56 years since that final with players such as Eddie Gray, who came and won at Old Trafford. And there's another booking here. It'll be Lucas Demetra, as the Chelsea fans are protesting. The Chelsea players, sorry, as Caicedo has been brought down off of the ball. Demetra lying in there on Caicedo. Of course, that was an error on my part. 1972 Leeds won the FA Cup, and they'll be hoping for similar success there, as that booking for Demetra is confirmed. The third Leeds booking of the game. So it looks like Sean Longstaff will be coming on to the pitch, hoping to repeat his heroics midweek against Bournemouth, where he got that 97th minute equaliser. But there's not a lot of time left in this game for Leeds to do so. Palmer now looking to control the ball. Strike just manages to intercept back into the path of the Demetra. It's a heavy touch there as Chelsea look to dispossess Andre Santos. Ball goes out. It's a Leeds throw-in. You can hear the home fans here now. Or the Leeds fans, apologies. Trying to encourage their side. We wait for the game to be restarted here. Brendan Aronson has been subbed off. And on comes Sean Longstaff. And as mentioned, he will be looking to repeat his heroics. If he could, what that would mean for Leeds United and their fans today. There's another throw in here for Leeds as we go into the final minutes. We're just approaching the 86th minute. And you can see the Leeds fans watching on, ever so hopeful. An opportunity for their side is all they want. As the game closes out, here's Goodmanson now looking to make progress. He's able to find Calvert-Lewin, trying to hold the ball up. But Chelsea once again defending valiantly as they clear the ball back into the Leeds half. Ampadu on the ball now. The ball comes back into the Leeds half. It's another throw in on this far left-hand side. Goodmanson just tells Stack to be patient. Stack just trying to make inroads. It's a loose ball. Caicedo collects it in his own area for hoofing it long. A big deflection, and that will be a Chelsea goal kick as Caicedo fist pumps to the crowd, knowing that will be massive. It's another minute or so that Chelsea can wait as they try and run this clock down. Robert Sanchez taking every precious second that he is able to. You can feel the tension in the stadium now. Both sets of fans watching on with a different set of hopes. Chelsea, whose season has been so chaotic and at points circus-like under the Blue Co ownership. They'll be hoping for this final just to bring some joy to what has been a turbulent season. But Leeds looking to make amends after that 1970 final defeat against Chelsea, of course. Andre Santos now beside. Oh, it's a brilliant touch by Caicedo as he's brought down. A few more precious seconds being brought there for Chelsea as Longstaff is the perpetrator. Just catches him there. And Chelsea will take free kicks like that all day long at this stage of the game. As Caicedo, he looks to be in some discomfort. He's holding his knee. Medics have come onto the pitch, much to the dismay of the Leeds United players and Daniel Farker. You see, catches Caicedo there, right on the ankle, which of course could be a sore one.
just happens to be in the closing minutes of the game as Chelsea are looking to waste time where possible. With this being said, Caicedo does look in some discomfort. So, as we just crossed the 89th minute, let's go through the story of the game so far. My name is Alex Peters, live here on TCHub, the Emirates FA Cup semi-final between Chelsea and Leeds. Enzo Fernandez in the 24th minute put the ball away. It was a beautiful cross from Pedro Neto, and he guided the header past Lucas Perry. Leeds, who were way off it in the first half, came out in the second half. They were buoyed, they were ready, they were energised, looking to get a goal. But as we come to the final minutes of this semi-final, it looks like Chelsea may be doing enough just to hold on. So Caicedo's back to his feet, as we could see another substitution here from Chelsea. I believe Dario Asego looks to be coming on as Caicedo hobbles his way to the touchline with the Chelsea medics. We approach the 90th minute here on this Emirates FA Cup semi-final. So it will be another substitution for Chelsea. Or, apologies, it looks like the stoppage time was just being added on, as Caicedo doesn't look like he's coming off the pitch quite yet. So it'll be 8 added minutes here at Wembley. 8 minutes for Leeds United to change their season and give them a chance of making the FA Cup final against Manchester City, who beat Southampton 2-1 yesterday, as the ball goes out of play. What will be a Leeds United throw-in. So the ball was back in possession now with Strike. And there's Longstaff. Here comes Strike again. Goodmanson gets the ball into the area. Chelsea clear. Could this be the opportunity? So the ball comes back now to Leeds' back line. The ball goes out of play once again, and Daniel Farke's frustrations are on full display there. His side have not performed as he would have hoped. They have been so brilliant recently in the league, understanding what's at stake, their place in the Premier League, and they have put up some incredible performances because of that. But today, Chelsea, buoyed by the dismissal of Liam Rosenior midweek, under the tutelage now of Callum McFarlane, have played so well and disciplined and defended doggedly when needed. But Leeds, with 6 minutes remaining here, will be looking to change the narrative. Here's Longstaff. As the ball comes back now to Perry, and we'll just have a moment to speak about today's man of the match, as you may be able to see on screen here. Enzo Fernandez, the captain for Chelsea, who got that all-important goal in the 24th minute. He's defended well, he's won fouls where necessary just to break up the play, and it's been a real talismanic captain's performance today from the Argentine. As Jared Gillett calls another foul for Leeds United here. Here's Pascal Strike moving the ball across. Goodmanson looking to whip the ball into the area now. Leeds just on the outside of the Chelsea penalty area as the ball's cleared once again. But here's Longstaff who wins the ball. It's all over the shop here as Leeds look to come again. Ball into the path for Goodmanson on this far left-hand side. 93rd minute here. Cole Palmer trying to defend. He fouls Goodmanson. Referee does not give it. And Chelsea now in possession, looking to counter, looking to attack into the path of João Pedro. Enzo Fernandez just can't get the ball across to Pedro Neto. Longstaff looking to send it long now. Enzo collects the ball once again. Here's Leeds, here's Longstaff. Statch loses the ball. Pedro Neto pulling the shirt there on Justin Bogle, and an elbow. Possibly. Pedro Neto's gone to the floor there. And a bit of chaos towards the end of the game. And Jayden Bogle received a yellow card in what looked like an elbow. Brought up to the face of Pedro Neto. He protests his innocence, Bogle, but it was all for there to see. He just catches his face, not so much an elbow, but more so his hand. And that's another booking there for Leeds. And Chelsea will take as much time as possible over this free kick. So the 94th minute here in this Emirates FA Cup semi-final. Chelsea 1, Leeds 0. Enzo Fernandez's header in the 24th minute is what separates these two sides. As less than 5 minutes on the clock now. Leeds with a free kick. They launch it forward, looking for that elusive equaliser and what it would mean for these travelling Leeds fans. And that looks like a foul on Wilfried Gnonto. Leeds have a free kick in the attacking third here. Chelsea looking to retreat. And they'll take their time with this, Leeds. They know the opportunities are going to come few and far in between now, so they have to make the most of what they get. Sean Longstaff standing over the ball. Just confirmation that Pedro Neto was also booked in that battle with Bogle. And the ball sails over. Calvert-Lewin unable to reach it. And Leeds United will know that's another opportunity gone amiss. The fans looking worrying there. Just sailing over, unfortunately. No one able to get onto it. Calvert-Lewin just a few yards off the pace there. He would have been hoping for a better game. The England forward, as mentioned before, Leeds' top goal scorer this season. There's been some great moments for them, especially in the league, as they fight for their place in the Prem. But as that man on the screen shows, Enzo Fernandez, who has played brilliantly today, his goal is what separates the two sides. His goal is what separates the final for Chelsea and Leeds as the ball comes back to Perry. As we approach the 96th minute here with 2 minutes of additional time left to play. Ball now into Goodmanson, who's hobbling. You can see the effort that's been put in by some of these Leeds players. Strike now with the ball as Chelsea win a foul to the frustration of Anton Stack. Claims that his shirt was being pulled. And Chelsea once again will take their time over this. Daniel Farke vented his frustrations on the sideline too. And Chelsea look like they may have just done enough. Another substitution here. Liam Delap getting his final orders. As Callum McFarlane looks to just waste precious few more seconds. So it'll be a huge win for Callum McFarlane, of course. His first win as Chelsea head team coach. And they have been linked with plenty of other managers since the sacking of Leon Rosina on the 22nd of April. There's been reports suggesting Fabregas, who's done an amazing job at Como. Oliver Glasner, who's leaving Crystal Palace this season. Xavi, Marco Silva, who could, of course, leave Fulham. And there was the story with Felipe Luis, of course, when Chelsea were originally looking for a replacement for Maresca. So knowing that he's available now, there's not short of options as João Pedro comes off for Liam Delap as we enter the final minute of this Emirates FA Cup semi-final. Chelsea 1, Leeds 0. With disappointment from the Leeds fans, there should have been. They would have expected more effort. They would have expected more impetus going into this game. Chelsea, Cole Palmer with the ball in the Leeds penalty area now. Liam Delap looking to cause a nuisance. Wilfried Gnonto now receives the ball, and this could be one of the last opportunities. Dominic Calvert-Lewin picks the ball up, but it's brilliantly intercepted by Andre Santos, who's done so well since he came onto the pitch. The ball with Rodon now as he passes it back to Perrin. Ball launched long, won by Nemecha. Calvert-Lewin looking like he might foul. Palmer just launches it long. Clears it from danger. It's into Perry. If they look to quickly restart the play here, you would think that it's one more opportunity for Daniel Farke's men. And Chelsea fans egging for the referee to blow the whistle. Launched long by the Leeds United goalkeeper. Referee hasn't blown the whistle yet. The ball falls to Wilfried Gnonto. It's going to be a throw-in for Leeds. You expect them to get this into the area now with one more opportunity. Ampadu sprinting across. Perry coming up now. It's last chance saloon for Leeds United. If they want a chance at making this FA Cup final, they have to score now. They have to find the equaliser. Here comes Ampadu. Ball goes into the area. Cleared by Sanchez. Buried away. As Nonto gets onto the ball. Slight confusion. It's blocked by Cole Palmer. As it finds Ampadu once more. And the referee has blown the full-time whistle. Chelsea beat Leeds in what will be a huge win for Callum McFarlane in what has been a terrible week for Chelsea. A small glimmer of hope as an FA Cup final awaits them, a chance to get some silverware in what has been a chaotic season. The Chelsea players celebrating with their own. There's not been a lot to celebrate this season, but an FA Cup final visit is definitely something worth shouting about. The Leeds players look dejected. Going into this game, they had hopes, they had aspirations, they knew they had a chance against this Chelsea side, but they were unable to make anything of the opportunities that came their way. Just to go through the game once again. In the 24th minute, Enzo Fernandez met Pedro Neto's cross. A beautiful dink, which he guided into the corner past Perry. Leeds, unable to make anything in the first half, came out fighting in the second, which led to a great opportunity for Dominic Calvert-Lewin around the 60th minute mark. He stood up for a header, unable to put it past Robert Sanchez, as it fell straight into his arms. The end of the half was feisty. There was plenty of bookings, plenty of tackles as Chelsea fought for their victory. And they now will face Manchester City in the FA Cup final on Saturday, the 16th of May. That will not be one to miss. Of course, we will be bringing that game live to you here on TCHub. And what a victory for Chelsea. So let's run through the weekend results in the FA Cup one more time. Thank you for joining us here on TCHub. My name is Alex Peters. Saturday we saw Manchester City versus Southampton. Manchester City coming away 2-1 victors in that game after Finn Aziz's brilliant opening goal was cancelled out by Jeremy Doku. And of course that Nico Gonzalez rocket. And of course in the game that we have just watched, Chelsea have beaten Leeds United 1-0 thanks to a goal from their captain Enzo Fernandez in the 24th minute. Leeds could have put up a fight as Chelsea were the better side. Callum McFarlane will be overjoyed by that performance, and they now have a chance at some silverware to cap off what has been a turbulent season for Chelsea. So that will be all from me here on TCHub. Like I said, my name is Alex Peters. It's been a pleasure bringing this game to you. What a fixture between Chelsea and Leeds. Our next offering on the commentary hub will be Manchester United versus Liverpool. That will be next Sunday, the 3rd of May. Kickoff at 3:30, not 4:30, 3:30 as it typically is on a Sunday. That will be at Old Trafford. A great game you'll be sure not to miss. So make sure you subscribe, and thank you once again for joining us here today.